If your pool is dirty or murky after a storm and you can't even see the bottom, please don't panic. It's completely fixable, I promise. And you don't need to drain your pool. I'm Matt from Swim University, and here is my simple 4-step process to clear up your pool after a storm. You can work through these 4 steps in order and try each one before moving on to the next because you may not need to do all of them. So step number 1 is remove as much debris as you possibly can by hand. Step 2 is to run your filter. Step 3 is to vacuum your pool manually. And step 4, if all else fails, you can use a bit of flocculant. More on that in a bit. Okay, let's start with step 1. Remove as much debris as you can by hand. Now, before you go and touch your filter or get your vacuum, you want to get out the big stuff first. The goal here is simple. Less debris in your water means less work for your filter. You could start by emptying your skimmer basket and your pump basket. Now, if your pump is running during or after the storm, these are probably packed with leaves and debris. Pretty simple. Next, use a leaf net or a skimmer net to pull out any large debris floating on or near the surfaces of your pool. This includes things like branches, leaves, bugs, whatever you can grab. Now, if you have a skimmer net with fine mesh, that's really helpful for dredging up fine particles from the bottom of your pool. It's even better if you have a robotic cleaner with this fine mesh filter bag because then you can put the robot to work while you just chill. Another fine mesh option that'll help with the next step is using a skimmer sock. This can help trap finer particles before they even reach your filter. Now, if dirt, dust, or even pollen is a problem for you because maybe you have a lot of trees or you have some construction going on, these fine mesh options are a must-have. Step number 2, run your filter. Once you've cleared out all the big debris, now it's time to let your filter do some of the heavy lifting. If your filter has been running during the storm, it probably needs cleaning. Now, if you have a sand or a DE filter, you can do a backwash cycle. You can check out our other videos on more details on how to do this. If you have a cartridge filter, you need to take out the cartridge and spray it down with a high pressure hose and make sure to clean between all of the pleats. Then you can run your filter for the next 24 hours straight and keep an eye on your pressure gauge during this time because if your pressure climbs more than 10 psi above what your normal running pressure is or your return jets start losing pressure, it means that your filter is getting clogged with debris. So just clean your filter and then you can keep running it. Now, after 24 hours, check your pool. Your water should be noticeably clear, but there's a good chance you'll still see dirt or dust settled on the bottom, and that's completely normal. It just means that we have to move on to step number 3. Step number 3, vacuum the pool manually. Your filter can't pull debris off the floor. That's what your manual vacuum is for. Before you start vacuuming, you want to turn off your pump and let the water sit for about 2 hours. This gives any remaining particles time to fully settle to the bottom so that you're not chasing the cloud around. First, set up your filter for manual vacuuming. The thing is that you don't want to send all of this dirty water through your filter because that's just going to come right back into your pool. Instead, you want to set your multi-port valve to waste. This completely bypasses your filter and sends the dirty water directly out through the waste port. You can hook up a backwash hose so that the water has somewhere to go. But if you have a cartridge filter without a multi-port valve or a waste setting, you can remove the cartridge and the drain plug from the bottom of the filter and attach a backwash hose there instead. And yes, by doing this, your pool is going to lose a lot of water. So you want to keep a garden hose nearby to top off your pool as you go. And you don't want it to fall below the skimmer's opening. Connect your vacuum to the skimmer, then move the vacuum head slowly across the bottom of the pool using long overlapping strokes. Rushing is only going to kick up the sediment and then you're going to cloud your pool right back up again. Now, if the water does get cloudy while you're vacuuming, because it's bound to happen, stop, turn off the pump and give everything a couple minutes or hours to just resettle before continuing. Now, for a full walkthrough on how to set up your manual vacuum, and again, use your manual vacuum, not a robotic cleaner, check out our other video. After vacuuming, check your pool. If your water looks clear, great. Top off the water level, rebalance your water chemistry, and you're done. But if there's still fine dust and dirt that just won't clear up, you can move on to step number 4. Step number 4, use flocculant and vacuum to waste. Fine dirt and dust particles are sometimes way too small for your filter to catch and too light to stay settled on the bottom long enough for you to vacuum. That's where pool flocculant comes in. Flocculant is sometimes called flock, and it works by binding little microscopic particles together into large, heavy clumps that sink to the bottom of your pool. And then you can vacuum them right out. But here's the catch. Flocculant cannot go through your filter. You must be able to vacuum on the waste setting for this to work. So here's how to use pool flocculant the right way. Number one, you need to raise your water level. Because you're going to be vacuuming out a lot of water in the final step, you start with a higher water level than normal. If your water level is already halfway up the skimmer opening or higher, you can skip this step. Number two, test and adjust your pH. Flocculant works best when your pH is actually on the lower side, so you want to aim between 7.0 and 7.4. Test your water and adjust as needed before you add the flock, and you can use the Pool Care app if you need help lowering your pH. Number three, you add the flocculant. Check your product's directions because some flocculants need to be diluted in a bucket of water first. Pour it around the edges of your pool, distributing it as evenly across the surface as you possibly can. Number four, circulate the water for 2 hours. Set your multi-port valve, if you have one, to recirculate. Do not use the filter setting. This mixes the flocculant through the water without sending it into your filter, and you can just run the pump for 2 hours. Now, if you don't have a multi-port valve with a recirculate setting, you can just manually stir it in the water with a pool brush to help dilute the flock without using a pump. Number five, you're gonna let it sit overnight. Turn off your pump completely. Turn off any water feature and check that your automatic timer doesn't kick on your pump overnight. The water needs to stay completely still for at least 8 hours. Now, during this time, the flock is doing its job. It's binding all of those tiny particles together and pulling them down to the bottom of the pool. Now, be patient and just let it do its job. Number six, vacuum to waste very slowly. The next morning, the water should be noticeably clearer and you should see a layer of cloudy sediment sitting on the bottom of your pool. Great, that means it worked. Now it's time to vacuum it out. Set your multi-port valve to the waste setting and make sure that your backwash hose is connected and it has somewhere to drain. Vacuum the bottom of your pool very slowly because if you move too fast, it's just gonna kick all of that flock cloud up into your water and undo all of your progress. But if the water does get cloudy, because it's probably going to, just stop vacuuming. Turn off the pump and let everything settle for a few hours before you continue to do it again. Step number seven, top off your water. Once you're done vacuuming, use a garden hose and bring your water level back up to normal. Then you can switch your multi-port valve back to the filter setting and run your filter like you normally would. Number eight, rebalance your water chemistry. Test your water and adjust your levels. If your chlorine is too low and it keeps dropping, go ahead and shock the pool at this point. And if you need help figuring out how much of each chemical to add to your specific pool, you can check out the Pool Care app. All you have to do is enter your test results and you'll get a custom treatment plan that tells you exactly which chemicals to add to keep your pool clear and nothing more. There's a 7-day free trial to see if it's right for you, and then it's only $49 a year after that. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and again, as always, happy swimming.